So, who wants a really good ab workout? What's up, everyone? Tim Gillette, Morningstar Jiu Jitsu. Today we're going to talk about how to move up our backs. Now, Jiu Jitsu, what makes it kind of different from other arts is our ability to fight off of our back. And so we need to be able to maneuver around pretty easily when we're on our backs, but we also want to be able to change position, get up, or get to our knees, things like that. So first we're going to work on just going off of our backs, and then we're going to work on kind of transitioning off of our backs up to another position. Okay? So we're going to start with getting our hips up when we're on our back. And this is really important whenever we're trying to attack off our back for triangle chokes, arm bars, certain sweeps even, things like that. We need to be able to get our hips up. So the first exercise we're going to work on is just shooting our hips up into the air. So I'm going to start on my back, and when I'm first doing this, I might use my elbows or my hands to kind of help out here, and I'm trying to push off and get my hips up in the air and then back down, and then back up and back down, all right? And as you get more and more comfortable with it, as you are able to get those hips up easier and easier, now you're going to try to do it without your elbows driving into the mat. So now my hands are up, and I'm going to shoot those hips up and come back down. Shoot those hips up, come back down, all right? We're just going to work on shooting those hips up, right? So that's kind of the first level, is using those elbows to help out. As you get better at this, now you don't need those elbows, and you can just shoot those hips up without having to use anything to really push off the mat, right? Once you're there, now we're going to add in a triangle. So we're going to make it a little bit more kind of jiu-jitsu oriented even. So when I'm working on my triangle, I'm going to cross one foot underneath the knee on the opposite side and clamp down, right? If I was going to go to the other side, I'll bring that foot behind the knee and clamp down. So we're going to do this while we shoot our hips up in the air. So at first, we can use those elbows to help out. Lock that triangle, let the hips come back down. Shoot the hips back up, lock the triangle, let the hips come back down. And we can work on that left and right. And then again, you can do it without the elbows if you're feeling pretty comfortable there. Triangle on one side, back down. Switch sides, triangle, back down. And just alternate sides right there to work on shooting those hips up and also locking up that triangle right there. And that's going to really help you with your triangle chokes when you get into a position where you can set that up off of your back. Getting those hips up really closes the gap in front of the neck where your legs are. It's going to make a tighter triangle choke, and you're going to be able to clamp on the back of their head a little bit better to break them down so they're not able to posture up and escape that triangle, right? So that's number one. Number two is working on our 360s, right? I know some of my students know what this is, and we're going to start on our backs, and we want to rotate 360 degrees without using our hands or our feet to push off of, right? We're just using our hips and our core. So this is a really good core exercise, and it makes it so we can move our hips around when we're trying to attack off our backs, okay? So we're going to start right here, kind of upside down turtle position. My hands, elbows, feet, everything are up off the mat. And I'm going to use that core and my hips to rotate 360 degrees right here. And then I'm going to switch directions. Right there, all right? So when you're first doing this, you're probably going to do about 12 little tiny crunches. You're probably going to end up doing little movements like this, and it's actually harder to do early on because you haven't figured out how to rotate on your tailbone or up on your shoulders just yet. As you get more comfortable with it, you're going to make bigger movements. So I'm going to be able to swing and swing, and I can get that 360 degrees in 2 turns, okay? So at first, it might take you 12 little ones, and then eventually it's going to be like 6, and then 4, and eventually you want to get to that 2, where you can kind of rotate 180 degrees, and then a second 180 degrees to get your 360, right? And then we switch directions. We get around to that 360. Make sure you're breathing the whole time you're doing that. If you hold your breath when you do that, one, that's a bad habit to hold your breath anytime you're exerting energy because it's going to make you more and more tired. And two, it's really going to burn out your abs if you're not getting oxygen right there. So make sure you're breathing throughout the whole process of doing a 360-degree rotation there. And now we can combine that with the first one. So now I could do 180 degrees, triangle. Maybe I'll go another 180, triangle. 180 the other way, triangle. 180, triangle. Right? So combine those together, you can make a nice little workout right there. That's a good core exercise. That's all about moving your hips and moving around off of your back right there to be able to attack better when you're playing from the guard. So those are a couple of great exercises you can do at home to work on your core, and that will really improve your ability to attack off your back when you're in guard. Getting those hips up and getting those hips to the side where you can rotate around and kind of combine those two, where you can rotate and shoot the hips up and attack. All right? So those are some great exercises right there. You can do them at home. It'll work on that core, make your guard more dangerous, and when you come back, I'm going to be scared.